Hello everyone, I'm John Cormier, CEO of WatchFacts. We are here at Hotel Orologio. Did I get it?
Very good.
I'm here interviewing Mr. Sandro Fratini, who is one of the most successful businessmen in Italy, and he's also a watch collector. He's the owner of this hotel. He actually owns the Why the Best Hotels, and he has a watch collection north of 2,000 watches of very, very important pieces. So with that said, I just have a few questions for Mr. Fratini. What got you into watches? I know it's your passion, but can you tell people a little bit about yourself and how you became a watch collector and what people should know?
My story is a love story because it began when I was 9 years old, a lot ago, and for my communion day, my parents made me a gift, a watch, no important, poor watch, not gold, plated, but for me it was love because the routines, the movement, the hands, for me it's very passion, no? And from that moment, I begin to try to not collect because I was a baby boy, no? But to try to convince my grandmother to buy for me the watches. Of course, watch that my grandmother can afford, so no important watch. And then I begin in this way. When I was 20 years old, I buy by myself, but it's always poor watch, not important, repeat. And I buy a lot of Universal Genève, Listener 10, what my efforts can permit to me, no? This is my beginning of my story. After, with more job,
So most of the watches you own right now, right? The vast part of your collection is Rolex.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Rolex and Patek.
Okay. So how many Daytonas do you have?
Roughly, I think 100.
100 Daytonas.
Yes, I love Daytona. Yeah.
It's a great watch. And which of those are vintage versus modern?
Vintage is a big part of my collection, of course. In case of Daytona, I have roughly 80 Daytona. The other are modern, roughly with brilliant, sapphire, rubies, most particularly watches.
So for people, like I'm a baby collector. I love watches. I have a passion for them. I don't have nearly as many as you do, but you've got some of the most important pieces in the world, like one-time produced pieces. Do you want to talk a little bit about some of the pieces that you think are important to you?
I think that my more important watch is not necessarily the more expensive of the market. I love some watches I think that is transmit some dreams, no? Some emotions, and I love Patek round bottoms because for me it's an emotion. And I love in particular way the black dials. The black dial for me is something special.
So the best black dial watch you have that's Patek is which one?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. For people who want to get into collecting, what advice would you give them?
I think to buy according our sensation, our heart, and important are dealers because the important thing is to ask to dealer to find the dealer serious because it's very important now. Mostly in vintage, because vintage is very important to go a person very serious.
The vintage is a tough category because of the authenticity.
For me, since vintage is something special.
Right. And a lot of people, for vintage, there's, like for modern watches, it's a big deal about box papers. So for your watches, I would imagine there's not a lot of papers associated with them.
Papers, original paper, it's very it's very difficult to find because my watches are every watch is 40, 50 years old, so a lot. Very difficult to find original papers. In some cases, I have original paper, a few cases in respect of the totality of my collection.
Did the brands help you when you wanted to authenticate them, or you were just confident in the dealer that you purchased from?
I trust in dealer that I go, of course,
Right.
but I decide by myself. I confide in myself.
Of course.
It's my sensations the most important thing for me. Yeah.
So total size, so we're in this hotel, which is, the idea is based on watches, which is incredible. Patek, Vacheron, and Rolex. You want to describe the hotel and just your thoughts behind the passion that inspired this?
This hotel is made with the watches that I love. No? Every room is one model. Every floor is one trademark for Patek, for Rolex, for Vacheron. And in every room there is a picture with all painting with a figure of the watches. This is for me a dream. No, it's not a hotel because I realized something that was my dream.
That's humbling. But you also have your own watch line as well.
Of course, yes. A joke. It's not. It's a line of watch in silicone. Silicone, very soft. This is an example, and I like.
I love it
because it's very, very simple. It's nice.
And these are the watches. Okay, that's the limited edition gold one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so these are going to be interesting. So you can swap the movement out, and you can get, they all come in black or in different colors, so like the green and the burgundy, which is kind of interesting. But the watches I like, this is kind of a goof, which is fine for the sun watch. But the watches I love are, this is really, really cool. So you want to talk a little bit. So this is cool. I love the case. It's limited production.
Only 1,000 pieces. Is inspired of a double crown Patek Philippe in a modern version, no? With PVD black, and for me it's something special.
It's full time. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful watch. So. It's beautiful, and it's only available at the hotel.
Yeah.
So if you don't stay here,
Absolutely.
you can't get it.
This only in the hotel. This no. This is totally different because it's this distribution in watch shop.
I mean, the casing it's beautiful. So just a few more questions. So in terms of next watches, so most of your collection is vintage, but you do have some modern pieces. Which modern pieces do you have?
Modern pieces, I have Audemars Piguet because I love Audemars Piguet, and I love Royal Oak. Royal Oak is a shape that I love. I love, and after also Daytona, of course, Daytona Modern is another my preferred watch.
I wore this one just for you.
Yeah.
See,
Perfect, great.
I was like, which watch should I wear? You know, to be in your presence. Like, I wasn't sure. So I figured, you know what? Since the hotel is, you know, I modeled after like Rolex is one of them. I said Daytona's gotta be one. So. So my background, I'm a former investment banker, so you know I would think about buying something that's going to appreciate from an investment standpoint. When I first started out in watches, I made some bad decisions. Bought watches, went to sell them, and they were worth pretty much nothing. You are fortunate in that you bought some pieces, actually a number of pieces that are worth quite a bit. So for someone who's looking to get into the market and they're thinking about, I want to buy something that I love, but also I wanted to appreciate and value as well. What advice would you give them, or would you give me, when I think about buying a watch that could be collectible in the future?
I think if you buy Rolex and Patek, you are only in the right, because are the most important in the world in the time increase every year. So no mistake to buy Rolex and Patek. In the modern, Audemars Piguet I like very much, and it's my favorite trademark for modern watch. Absolutely.
For some of the modern watches, the prices are a little expensive, and they're discounted substantially in the gray market. As a vintage collector, you don't really have that as a concern because those pieces are limited produced. What are your thoughts on the discounting? So I love AP, I love Rolex, I love Patek, but a lot of the other brands, they're discounted like 20, 30, 50% in the secondary market. Any thoughts on those brands or the discounting that's going on in the secondary market?
But I think because I am a vintage collector, so I think in my life when I bought vintage, I never get wrong. Because, and I buy this.
It's limited edition.
Vintage is the most important thing, and I think the quality is the most important thing to follow.
Okay.
Quality.
What about other brands like Breguet? I mean, Breguet was significant because of a lot of inventions that he made. Is Breguet like one of those brands that will this time, or even like Vacheron?
No, Breguet is important. Why not? My favorite remain what I said before.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. So I want to just get back to like Florence and the hotel because I love this hotel. So what keeps you in Florence? Tell me a little. I mean, I come here 3 to 4 times a year. That's how much I love the city. And there are a few brands that have just started here. But I mean, what keeps you here? What started? I guess let me step back for a second. There are the hotels. And you're the owner of one of the best hotels, and there are hotels like this and other cities. Can you talk a little bit about because I'm a watch person, so I may be a little tainted, but walk me through some of the hotels you have and where the locations are, and why should someone stay here?
In my hotel there is my passion, my love, no? And so this is the main reason for me now, because I can translate my passion in the hotel. In my hotel, there is what I want to find in a hotel. The most important thing is the location, because in Florence the location is in Piazza Santa Maria, so in the heart of the city. In Venice, in Canal Grande, in front of Cadoro, so another important location. In Rome, the next in Italy, near Piazza Navona and Campo di Fiori. So, for me, the most important, the atmosphere and the location.
Right.
This is the thing most important.
So even if you're not a watch lover, you're gonna love the hotel because this location. You come in. One of the things I've noticed is the way it's designed, it's decorated. It's very particular, and if you don't like watches, in my opinion, are art. So you've got art located all over the place of watches. It's very unique, which is the one of a kind pieces representing your collection, in fact.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. So with that said, one of the things I have to do is, so this is the first hotel I've been to. I have to go to the other hotels and stay there and take pictures, which is, I think, is going to be an honor. I want to thank you for your time today, the attention. Thank you for making the time to go to see and let me interview you and show me your pieces. It's really, it's humbling to be able to sit with someone who's got a collection as vast and as dynamic as yours. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Sandro Fratini.